What's up, everybody? Welcome to Ramble Radio. I am your host, Jen T. Twitter and Instagram at GenT523. But nobody cares. It's all about YouTube, Gen T TV. Miss Dolly, she gone. Jolie, I'm begging you, come back, Dolly. That's right, Miss Dolly Parton passed away today. My gosh, so sad. But I had a feeling it was going to happen, y'all, because her husband died like a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And I said, Miss Dolly loves her husband so much, she gonna cross over to the Rainbow Bridge with him. So it was a matter of time. You know what I'm saying? When you love somebody that much and that's all you know, it's time to go. But my sweet Dolly, we gonna miss you, girl. Unbelievable. What a gem. I don't think we will ever have another like Miss Dolly Parton. One of a kind, a true gem. She will be missed. Jolene, I'm begging you, please don't leave us, darling. She's gone, we miss you, darling. Oh, why'd you have to go, Miss Dolly? Oh, man, what an angel. I mean, an angel on earth, Miss Dolly. She gone, Jack. It's so sad because, can we trade? Hey, Jesus, can we trade P. Diddy for Dolly? Come on, man. Come on. This ain't fair. Miss Dolly, good God, what a sweet gem. Just real old school badass country. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, we will never get to have them days again. But the cool thing is her music is here and we get to listen to her music as much as we are still alive. And, she's got all the hits like, what can I do? And what's that other song? Here I go again. Miss Dolly just cranking out all of the hits. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, her most famous hit, I Will Always Love You. I'm not even going to attempt to sing that because what the hell? That's sacrilege, But, my God, the original I Will Always Love You. And then, of course, people forgot about our angel, Miss Dolly, when Whitney sung the song. They just destroyed. How dare you? How dare you? Whitney destroyed Miss Dolly's version. It's just not even close, not even the same atmos. But nevertheless, both are good. But it's just trying times these days. But the good news is the spirit of Dolly. I see so many people posting and sharing cool stories online. So I'm like, man, Dolly, you touch so many people's lives, and you won't be forgotten. I mean, it's just too much. Too many Dolly lovers out there. They will never go away. They will keep the name Dolly going on and on and on. And speaking of me going on and on and on, short show today because I am just deceased. I am maybe more dead than Dolly at the moment. Too soon, I bet. It is 90 degrees in my house right now. It's not because I don't have AC. I'm trying to podcast for y'all, but it's hot as fuck, and I can't have the AC on because y'all can hear it. So I got my baby fan blowing on me, and hopefully you can't hear that, but I'm just dying a slow death here. So I'm going to just jump right to the business. This week I made the wonderful decision, terrible but wonderful decision, to go to Palm Springs in the middle of a heat wave. Oh my days. Yes, your girl made a promise, and so I said, fuck it. We got to go. You know what I'm saying? So I've been promising the homie that I'd come and check out his gym out in Palm Springs, and Ooh, I deeply regretted my life choices immediately. When I got about 40 minutes away from my house, I went, it's 20 degrees hotter here. What the fuck is this? And then when I actually got to Palm Springs, it was another 15 degrees hotter than that 20 degrees, and that was already too much for me. But I just want to say, I've grown up in Palm Springs. My grandma used to own a bunch of houses out there, which I curse her name. I curse her name. Because the dumb bitch sold them all. And I wish we would have kept at least one out of the 6. You know what I'm saying? At least one, Because, man, then I could have had like a little Palm Springs retreat. Go swimming, during like every month other than the summer. Just go out there and kick it in the Palm Springs, But, my grandma was, unfortunately, a see you next Tuesday. And, God bless her for birthing my mom, but damn, this lady was fucked up. My grandma was not a nice person. She is what they would call in the disorder encyclopedia as a psychopath. No, there's a specific name, but she just didn't have, or she got joy in other people, other people's discomfort, just like would go out of her way to just like fuck people over and just, I don't know, just bad juju. You know what I'm saying? And just, it was not, God bless her. I used to work for her. But at the same time, I was just like, I don't want to be a part of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, it's not good. I mean, case in point, I watched the Travis Barker documentary the other day, and man, it is fantastic. I highly recommend. But he was on Joe Rogan the other day promoting that he's, got this documentary on Hulu. And he said, I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're gay, straight, trans, Chinese, black, Mexican, Norwegian, whatever. I don't care. Just be a good person. And so, unfortunately, my grandma did not have that good person button. And it made things very difficult. But I guess where I'm going at is she had an opportunity to give all of her children a house. Each child would have gotten a house. And you know what I'm saying? And I know my parents, they wouldn't have sold that house. They would have kept that house because it had a pool, and I love to swim in that pool. Okay? So going out to Palm Springs, because I don't really have a place to stay, or I don't want to, infringe on anyone. I do got a place to stay. I got homies out there, but I don't like to infringe on people, So it was just going to be a quick run and then come back, But so anyhow, I went to my homie's gym, and, by the time it was 10 o'clock, it was like 112. And I was just like, hey, what the fuck is this, man? Why is this town a goddamn blow dryer? What is happening? The wind started blowing, and I thought, oh, thank God there'll be a breeze. No. It was hot ass wind. It was just, like, when you hit the button in the bathroom to use the little blower, not use the paper towels, the little blower. That's what it felt like. Palm Springs feels like that. That's what it just feels like. And it's just like, right? Why are we here getting burned alive? What the fuck is this? I was just shocked. And then, of course, on top of me being shocked, I thought it was a good idea to be wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu for 2.5 hours in this fucking heat. Now, granted, there was aircon in the building, but still, the moment you step outside of the gym for some fucking fresh air, you're getting destroyed. It's brutal heat. So, I put on a brave face. because my mom taught me not to be rude, but God damn it. Now that I'm hiding inside of your phone. Jesus Christ. It's too hot. I had dreams and aspirations of opening my gym out there, and we're going to have to remove that off the list. Fuck that. Palm Springs is meant to be stayed in as a vacation, as in you're either in the pool or you're in front of the AC, and that's it. Okay? Nothing else. Oh, man. And the best part was I had made plans to go visit the sandwich shop inside of my work out in Rancho Mirage. So I was just like, oh, yeah, I'll just do a 2-for-1. Stop at both. No big deal. And so I did my friend's class. You know, I learned a lot of cool little tricks and stuff. And rolled with a couple people. Had a great time. But for some reason, you know, and I'm just going to be as polite and anonymous as I can, unless my friend hears this and be like, what, one of my students? Yeah, one of your fucking students. One of the guys I rolled with, we might have weighed the same, or maybe he was a little bit smaller in weight, but he had very long arms, long legs, very strong. So, for some reason, this usually goes 50-50. This goes one or two ways. Guys who feel my strength either do one of two things. They either amplify the intensity to the point where the roll is almost inappropriate. And then when I say inappropriate, I mean like rude, like you're using too much strength. You're being too aggressive. Like, hey, what the fuck? Settle down. I'm a mannish lady, but the key word in there is still lady. And I believe that you should show me some respect. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, there are guys who feel my strength and they're intrigued by it or they're impressed by it. They respect it. They aren't trying to hurt me because I may or may not be stronger than them. Case in point, this individual, I'm going to assume, I didn't ask, but I could presume that he was either a blue or a purple belt and just was violent. I mean, just completely and utterly preposterously over the top violent. And, you know, I'm wearing a helmet because I have a concussion. And I said that maybe he didn't hear that discussion that I was having with his coach. But I had a concussion. And so I'm trying to protect myself from getting another one. Okay. On top of the other 3 that I had within the last 2 months. Right. So this dude just goes right to the ultra violence. He's grabbing me all crazy, pulling on my neck, digging his knuckles in my face. And then at that point, I was just like, okay, you know what, my guy? You're an asshole. Your rolling etiquette is trash. And so now that I know you're not going to respect our roll, that you're going to roll like a complete jag-off, like a jackhole, I just made a decision that I was not going to tap. Now, I fully accept the consequences of this because, you know, accepting this with somebody who is as rough as this person was, I could have gotten hurt. Even with me politely rolling with him, I could have gotten hurt. So now you have irritated me. You have severely irritated me with your lack of respect. Or disrespect, I should say. And I had just made a decree that I wasn't going to tap to this vato. Straight up. And so I let him rip my neck every which way, pulling, doing whatever, digging his knuckles in my face, just doing all of the disrespectful shit you shouldn't do in jiu-jitsu. And I was like, nope. Nice try. Next move. What you got? I could hear him going, like just panting because his brain couldn't comprehend that he could not submit me and was doing everything under the sun, just rolling dirty. You know, digging the knuckles in the face is just like, it's one thing if we're, getting paid to compete. If this was a competition, if this was some sort of UFC contract, I don't know. I just know I don't dig my knuckles into my training partner's face. I just don't do that. And it's kind of like a unspoken rule. Hey, we're homies. We're mat homies. Be respectful, right? No, this brother lost his goddamn mind and was trying to basically break my face, break my jaw, break my neck, the whole nine. I heard my neck pop. I don't know how many fucking times, but I was like, nah, fuck you. Is that all you got, bitch? I felt like James Bond when he was bucky naked in the chair in was that Casino Royale, and that guy Lashif, the brother who cried blood. Lashif had that rope with the knot, the big knot at the end, and he was hitting James Bond's balls on the back of the chair, and he was just like not giving him the satisfaction. He was just like laughing. He was like, ah, and the guy's like, Lashif is like, what's so funny, Mr. Bond? He's like, I'm gonna tell everyone you touched my balls. He goes, oh, little to the left, little to the left. Right there. Yeah, that's the spot. Yeah, do it again. And that's it. I just was just like, I was like, oh, are you done? And he's no, okay. And I was just like imagining, I'm like, wow. I'm like, can you imagine this guy has a girlfriend? You know, I don't have a girlfriend. I'm a nice person. This jagoff has a girlfriend and is rolling like a complete piece of garbage. No disrespect. Doesn't care that I'm a lady. Doesn't care that, I'm a guest at his gym. He's just trying to rip my face off. So I'm just like, okay, player, and I'm just like thinking like, this guy's got a girlfriend and he's like in her ear going, the old two pump chump, if you will. And I'm just like, wow, my guy, is that all you got? And I was just like, just egging this motherfucker on. I'm like, all right, player. You up still here? Nope, haven't tapped. What's up, bitch? And then, the longest 5 minutes of my fucking life. Finally, the timer goes off and I goes, yep, good day, sir. I'm out of here. And, I almost extended the invite for him to come to open mat. And I was like, you know what? Nah. No, thanks. But I hear that my friend is bringing some students to the open mat at my gym. And, I just let all of my friends at my gym know that, hey, if you see this fucking jamoke, he was digging the knuckles in the face, the across the jaw, I got a concussion, this guy's not being respectful. And my friends is like, my teammates is like, really? Interesting. Can't wait to see him at open mat. So I'm just praying that this brother does not show up. He does not come to our gym, because if he comes to our gym, he probably gonna get the ass whooping of his life. I'm just gonna put that on record. This brother is going to get beaten. And not necessarily beaten in the way you think he's gonna get beaten, but my teammates certainly don't dig their knuckles into my face. So they certainly know how to have better technique to submit someone. And, I just know that when this brother decides to come to our gym, my gym, that he probably going to have a problem. I'm just saying, because, I told anyone who would listen, I was like, can you believe this jackal? Even my coach was like, did you tap? And I was like, hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. I was like, nah. After that, I was just like, all right, bitch. I could tell that this was going to be a problem for him, not for me. Because I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, you want to roll rough, you want to be a jerk, you don't want to treat people with respect, or at least have a conversation like, hey, this is how I'm going to roll. Do you roll like this? What's the deal? You're just going to roll like a dick. Well, eventually you're going to meet somebody with a bigger dick, and they're going to smack you on the side of the head with it. And you're not going to like it, bruh. You're not going to like it. So I'm just After the roll was done, I was just like, karma's a motherfucker. And, I just said to myself, I said, I will definitely do my best to get better so I can return the favor. And then I will also let my teammates know that, hey, if this motherfucker shows up, this is the tea on this guy. He don't roll respectfully. He don't roll respectfully with ladies. And he certainly is a douche. So after that, I was like, hey, I told the homie, thanks for letting me come out here. I had a great time other than that jamoke. That old pussy-o and pagan, And they were like, hey, let's go get a bite to eat. And I was like, hey. And they're like, what do you got to do? And I was like, oh, I got to go here. And they're like, oh, that store closed. And I was like, well, damn, I guess I got to go home. And they're like, hey, you don't want to get a bite to eat? And I was like, I want to get the fuck up out of here. It's too goddamn hot. I checked my Apple Watch. 115 degrees. Go fuck yourself. I don't want to be nowhere but on the road home or in front of an air conditioning or in a pool. Please. Leave me be. So I just told him, I was like, I got to balance. And then so I was thinking about, going to my work, visiting my work out there because I don't really go out that way too often. So when I do, I want to, stock up on snacks and whatnot. It said that it was another 25 minutes down the road, and I said, what the fuck? I could have fucking swore that it was like 2 more exits, and you're at my work from the Palm Springs airport. No, this motherfucker was another 25 minutes down the 10 fucking freeway in fucking hell. In fucking hell. That heat, 115 degrees. I can only imagine how hot it is out that way. The further out you go, the hotter it gets, right? No, thank you. We're done here. So I told the homie, I was like, hey, good to see you. Bye-bye. I'm out of here, Jack. I don't even want to go to my work and get snacks. I don't want to stay here and eat. I want to go home. I want to be in front of a fan. I want to fall asleep in front of a fan. I want to watch TV in front of a fan. And if I need to, I will inflate my inflatable swimming pool and fill that up with water and watch TV in front of a fan inside the pool. I was beside myself. I was like, this is fucking preposterous. This should not be this hot here. This is just retarded. Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, I just, like I said, I considered opening a gym out there, or I was considering opening a gym out there. I was considering moving out there. That heat, fuck that heat. No, thank you. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I wish I wanted it to work, or I wish it would work, but that temperature is something else. You got to be a real special breed of lizard to enjoy that heat. Because that shit was hot as fuck. But yeah, that needed to happen. That trip to Palm Springs needed to happen because for some reason in my mind, the fantasy was I would be able to handle having a gym out there in that kind of heat. And your girl don't really like heat like that anymore. So I was just like, ugh, I'm glad we took this trip. This is a bad idea. Holy smokes. Oh, the reason why I'm just like dragging with this podcast is I literally just wrapped up watching the Idaho Murders on Netflix, and I've been wanting to watch this for a little while, but I've done my best to kind of stay out of the loop with it because it's just so sad, It's really fucked up what happened. I don't want to even say this cocksucker's name, but he's a real piece of shit. And basically, this brother broke in to this fraternity or this sorority house and murdered 4 people, killed 3 girls and the boyfriend. And just the level of insanity going on with this person, not like just complete and utter psychopath. Like, this brother did the ultimo 10D chess, basically went to school to be a criminal defense person, to study psychopaths, and basically became a psychopath. So I mean, the intent, the motive, just listening to other interviews from people who interacted with him, I'm just like, brother, if you were so obsessed with being a psychopath, why didn't you just kill yourself? Why are you trying to kill other people? Why are you hurting other people? This is what I don't understand. And this brother claimed that, he didn't claim it. They showed evidence that he used to be an overweight kid who was picked on or whatever, whoop-de-fucking whoop. And I guess they assume that he is, but there's no real evidence that they found. But just some of his behavior mimicked the behavior of an incel. And, these are some of my favorite dudes on the Rambo Radio here, incels, because these are guys who they're straight males that hate women and think that women are the problems. Women are the reason why they can't get laid, and they hold all the keys and they decide what happens, and that these poor guys are, not good enough to get dates. And so the incel, of course, is involuntary celibate people, and so just some mannerisms and behavior led the police to believe that he might be one of these people, right? But he wasn't the best looking dude. He kind of has like a clowny face, big old bulbous nose. And these fucking bug eyes, these just serial killer eyes. And, or sociopath, if you will, Despite all that, I know some ugly motherfuckers. I'm not going to name their names, but I know some ugly motherfuckers. I'm telling you, these dudes have the best outlook on life. Maybe they don't acknowledge the ugliness, or maybe somebody told them and they just go, you know what? That's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? I be telling people, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. And my personal favorite, other people's opinions about you is none of your business. So, but unfortunately, the world got to this guy, and he used to be super overweight, bullied, then went to veganism, and then was doing heroin, and just guy completely fucked himself. And then the most important part is that he just basically decided to take get a criminal law degree and study criminal science just so he could cover up his crime, which is crazy, You've really got to be sick in the head to just go this far. This is like 10D chess here. But seeing this guy and reading different news articles about him here and there, I'm just like, it makes me sick to my stomach because this brother is still alive. I don't understand how this has happened, but somehow he has gotten away with managing to not get the death penalty. But anyhow, I mean, obviously we know what happens. There's no spoilers here, but just to know and listen to the stories from the people, it's just heartbreaking. The parents, the friends, the family, and just to see his expression, his blank expression, and how he's claiming like, oh, I have some kind of like snow blindness or something where he can't really see people's faces or definitive things, and he has no emotion. And it's just like, brother, at that point, when you discovered you got whatever ailment you got where you cannot be in touch with other humans, it's time to strap yourself to a rocket and launch yourself into space. Yeah, I'm just saying, you gotta go, bruh. You gotta go, and don't take any people with you. So I can't wrap my head around somebody who would do this to 20-year-olds, and just the level of violence that happened in that house, and how one of the girl had 50 fucking defensive stab wounds. So that means she was fighting this motherfucker. And he stabbed her over 50 times. And I'm like, man, what a piece of shit, So selfish to take somebody else's life just because you could. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I'm serious. This is the kind of shit where I'm like, this is where I advocate for the suicide, okay? I don't normally advocate for suicide, but if you're gonna not be a good person. You're not going to contribute to society. You're just going to cause harm. I think you got to go. I think you got to eat the rat poison, or I think you got to stab yourself in the gut, do the old samurai style, and see your way out, because it's not fair that you took these other people's lives and took them out. They didn't get a say. They were attacked. They were brutally murdered. And I can't fathom that a person would have the capacity to do this and do this randomly. It's like he didn't even know these people. I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? And so just to see him sitting there with his little goofy clown face, I'm just like, man, go fuck yourself. For real, bro. Like, you don't deserve to be a participant in society. I'm sorry. You have revoked your privileges when you murdered 4 innocent people. So yeah, I highly recommend, Idaho Murders. If you want to watch, crime documentary and get really pissed off, go ahead and watch that. Because I was slamming my fist down. I was so mad. I was like, this son of a bitch killed them girls. And I'm just like, man, I just thought about where would in small towns, because I work in a small town, it's like, y'all don't even have regular PD. Y'all got veggie police. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got security, and security calls the sheriff, And the same thing was kind of happening in this town, because it's a college town, and same kind of thing. So the security protocols were very laxed there, and it's just like, ugh. What if these girls would have locked the door? What if they would have been better about vetting who was around the property, and just, I don't know. It's just all bad. Just fucking bad. But that piece of shit who did it, man. The hell is closed. There's no vacancy. You got to go below hell. You know what I'm saying? You got to go into the nether regions. You got to go in the devil's taint for that. Like, just deplorable, despicable human being. And I can't even say human correctly for that guy, because he's not a human. He's not a human. What he did was a fucking disgrace. And may he rot in jail, sadly. I wish that he would have gotten the death penalty, but his bitch ass plead, so I had to give him some gems, if you will. Let's see what else is going on here. All right, I'm gonna end the show with some UFC picks. I am melting. I must get in front of a fan. It's very important. We got UFC China, as Trumpito says, China. And those fights are going to be on at 12 o'clock in the motherfucking morning. Oh, shit. God damn it. I hate them fights, man. I got a love-hate relationship with it. Obviously I want to see fights. But I don't want to see them at 12 o'clock in the morning. I want to be asleep, man. But me and my homies, we're probably going to be up watching it. So, anyhow, let's go with these picks. I got Ziyang, Jack Jenkins, Rai Tsuchiura, Andre Lima, Alex Perez, Kai Escara, Denise Gomez, and Umar Nurmagomedov. That is Khabib's cousin, I think, or his brother. I don't know. They related, though. They got that same last name. So you know what that means. Somebody finna get their ass whooped. Oh, but he going against Song Yadong, da dong dong dong. I like Song Yadong, but I don't see him beating a Russian. Straight up. Straight up. All right. All right, folks. That's going to do it for me today. I hope that you enjoy the show. And I will talk to y'all next week. But until next time, this is Ramble Radio. I'm out. Peace.